can click due in, so we can put a due date for the homework. We can choose to set it today or in the future. And we can choose an attachment for the students to use. Now we can have a look at the colleagues and we can search and use something that somebody else has already uploaded. So if you're going to Mr. Davidson, we could choose for the transport PowerPoint, or we could have a search for a particular file, and we can have a look at previous files down here that we would have previously uploaded. That can be up to 100 at a time. So if we click in again, and we'll just use this one here, so this PowerPoint, and we'll press add note. We'll see that that's now online. We can see here the settings for it. It's due in 2 days. It's got a file upload option, and it is shared with the students as well. You'll see down here the different options that we've got. So if I press this button on the end, I can copy this and duplicate that to one of my other sets that I teach. And I can choose a different due day and a different set date for them. And I can continue doing that as I go. And that will duplicate that to the other class. So we don't need to re-input or re-upload the homework repeatedly. We can just literally put it in here and see what we need to do. We also got options to jump into other notes set by other people. So if I click onto all teachers, I can see all the homework that is due, or that has been set and launched at different times as well. So I can see how that relates with my class as well. So by doing this, when they come to put it in, I can click this button here, which allows me to mark if they've handed in the homework. If they've handed in the homework, I can click here, and I can even mark it on here as well. So say it was out of 20, I can put in a mark here. It will color code it. I can also give points for all those people who have given in the homework. If I go back, I can go and give a demerit to anybody who hasn't given in the homework. So very easy to do that. So that's all been done. And I'll also be able to see if the children have added it in, that they've handed it in themselves. They can change that option on the app. So when they go in to upload it, they'll be able to see that and change it to handed in, yes. Or if they submit it online, it will automatically change that to handed in or not. So you can see that as well. So as we've got all that information there, and we can quickly see that the homework's been completed, we can move on and we go back to our group here. Okay, and just a little reminder on this view that we can have some options turned on to make this really useful for knowing our class, particularly when they're not in front of us as well. So we can click on the student indicators group here, and that will include EAL, SEN features, pupil premium if needs be as well. So that's quite a useful little tool to use there. We can also jump across and use the mark sheets at the moment, and this allows us to add in marks. So next to the tutor, I click the plus icon, and that will allow me to put in different marking options. So I could choose 0 to 100 or grades for secondary, or tracking in there as well, or a simple yes, no. And if I tick the visible to students button, that will show that to the students and the parents via the app as well. So one of the big things is that this is really accessible to students and parents now at home using the app. It's been massively improved, and they are able to quickly see the homework set and access the files and mark that they've done it if they're the student, all on the online interface. So it's really quick and easy to do. So that's just showing you about how to set homework. Let me just refresh you on how to do that. If you click on groups, go to classes, Sorry, bless me. And click on the relevant class, and then go to class notes, click on new note, and you'll be able to see here homework's already selected, and you can choose then for description, choose what type of upload it's going to be, and choose an attachment. Now you'll notice quizzes in there. And what you can do is you can create a quiz for your students to complete. As it says there, if you go to me and quizzes and new, you can jump into here, choose your subject, choose your year, and we can build a quiz. So I can add in my questions. So you can see here that I can add in additional answers and keep on going. And that's my question done. So I could set a homework and I could choose this form for them to come back and answer at the end of it to prove that they've done what they've said, and they would be able to do this on their phone, tablet, computer. They'll be able to complete this quiz and obviously just choose the right answer from the list, and then at the end of it you'd be able to see how many times it's been used, who's taken it, and you'd be able to duplicate it. You can copy and assign it to different year groups if you want to, and you can edit it on here as well. So this is a brand new feature that they built in just for the COVID-19 situation. So you can quickly access that from going me, quizzes, and then you can set it as a homework by going to groups, classes, choose a class that you'd like to set it for homework for, click on class notes, new note, and then when we go online for submission, we can choose a quiz option, press choose, and there's my quiz. So that will be the quiz that is sent out to them, and once they've completed it, I'll get responses back in that quiz and I'll be able to see how they've performed. So very easy, very quick to send out your homework. The other thing that's available now is we've got the parents evening option and also the messenger function. So I'm going to jump into the messenger function. Again, start me, go down to messages, and here on my message screen. So I'm going to click onto new, and I'm able to write my message. So in the to field, I can click browse, and it might be that I want to choose a specific student, specific teacher, or specific parents. So I could do a whole tutor group, I could do individual people. So if I click on 9x, I'm now doing a whole class, or I could type in a name. And I can see here, I've got different people. So I've got Emma Johns, I can message her, but I might want to choose to message a parent. So I can have here any parents with the name. So if I click on Tabitha, and then I can say who this is about. So I can speak to Tabitha Johnson about a particular child. Put my subject in. I can choose my category, and I can also attach either a file or a form to this. I'll show you forms in a minute. Oh. Click send message. You see that my message is gone. That will then appear on the app or on the website for the relevant member of staff, the pupil, or the parent to reply to. And I can see here when they come in, I can see when they've replied to it, or I can follow up and chase it up if I want to. If it's blue as well, message not read by all recipients, sorry, with a dot. So you can see up here, this dot is up here. It was sent 12 seconds ago, but I can see that nobody's read it yet. So you can see if they've logged in and seen the message as well, much like you can on like WhatsApp and on whatever. I can also, if I go back to new, I can choose, maybe I'd like to just message all year 8 staff or all staff with tutor groups, any of these particular settings. I can also choose to message all the parents of my particular class as well, or even all parents from this view as well. So if I want to, I can just send a message like I have, and these are completely customizable, the different categories. And what it does is it reports back on the amount of messages being sent out from particular categories. So if we're seeing, for example, one class has got a lot more messages about friendships than homework, then obviously we can direct different support into that area to make sure that everybody is getting supported from it. If we go to overviews and we go down to Messenger, that's where we can see the information. So we can see conversations started mostly by teachers, although there is the option to turn this on to allow students or parents to send messages in. These can be limited for specific subjects, specific lengths, or by time and amount that you're able to do it. And if we come down here, we can see the different status that we are for all our different conversations. And importantly, if we click on incoming, we can see all the messages here about from different people to different people, and these ones here are waiting teachers to reply. So leadership can see and have a look at those ones that are missing people and that have been sent in and haven't been responded to, and you can pick up on the received option or the red option there, and you can reassign those messages to other people. You can also have a good overview about recent messages gone out. So I can click onto this one here. You see the conversation here. And you can see all the information down here. I can go back. And I can go to students. And here I can see, staff, I can see here about who's sent what conversations. If I click on an individual staff, I can see the messages that they've created, all conversations if I wanted to. And I can do exactly the same for students and exactly the same for parents. And so I could go and see why Ben has sent so many messages as a parent and look into what those are all there. So it's very, very easy and quick to use the Messenger functionality. You get it from me, messages, click on new, and then you can start searching for the person that you'd like to send one about. So here is to, oh, they don't have a, that's unusual. So if we see the different colors relate to the different information there. So I can speak to Claire. I can choose a different subject if I wanted to and click another category. Or if I click on Claire, I can choose to enter maybe about Stuart, maybe about Henry, maybe about them all. Let's just add them all onto there. Put a subject in, choose a reason, and click send. So very easy, very quick to do. The other option that you've now got is forms as well. So you can send that form to a group. So if we click on new, this could be example about a trip. So you can choose to have anybody have it, or it can be user specific. So you can choose it only goes out to teachers, students, parents only without child selection, or parent only with child selection. So this means if they've got more than one child at the school, they can jump in and select which child it applies to. And then you can choose, the first question is for them to choose which child. Obviously it'll have their name in there. Then I can add additional questions. So I can choose between yes or no, select from a list, pick multiple, text short answer, text long answer. So if we just go yes or no, it's going to be required. Would you like to go outside? Click add question. So yes or no. I'm going to finish editing because it can just be that quick. And then I can go into Messenger, or I can click the Messenger button here. And I can quickly send this to my group of parents if I wanted to. So I can click on browse. And because I've said it's a parents one, I can say I want to send that to just the parents of my classes. Let's go for that one. put a message in here and say this is about activities, send my message. And all the parents will be able to respond to that and complete that. And when I go into me forms, I will see that 33 people have had it. Nobody's currently responded, so I can't edit it at this point because I've already sent it. But I could copy it and duplicate it if I want to ask it to another class. So you can do that. And if you've got administrative privileges, you can jump in to see other people's forms as well. So let's see one here with a response rate. So we can see this one here. This has got 4. So I can jump onto the last button, and this allows me to see the responses. And I can download it as an Excel document to see all those responses there. So I can say, this is my permission list. This is my child with any allergies, and this will be if they've paid for the trip or not. So very easy, quick to get that information from parents or students by using the form as well. We've also touched on quizzes. So you can jump into quizzes there and see the quizzes that you've got open. And you can see that if you've had any responses to them or edit them or create new ones as well. So that is using Messenger, forms and quizzes, all new. The other option that we've got is Parents Evening. So if we go community down to Parents Evening, this will be launching in due course. And when you click on Parents Evening, you see we've got a Year 9 one here. You can do all different kinds of options, but the basic option for staff is that you'd go in and either the student or the parent, or the student and the parent are able to book in their own times, or you do it on their behalf, or somebody in admin does it on behalf, and it's so much easier than paper. Click on a time slot, choose a student, choose which parent, and then that's done. You can also, if the school sets it up, book in my breaks. I'll have quite a few break sessions until I run out of the allocation that I've got, if I've been lucky to have any. So it's very easy to do that. You can include classes, exclude classes, include teachers, exclude teachers. So you can set it up really usefully for how it suits you and your family, and and your school. And when you've completed it, and that is the Parents Evening that you're on, you're able to click on here quickly on the night, get an overview of how that child's doing. But if you click, so that will show you basics such as how much homework they've handed in. So if you're using the homework add-on, it will show you that, what their attendance is, and it will show you total points, total demerits. So you can have a little bit of information from there. But if you click on Jasper's overview, this gives you a quick view into the whole overview for Jasper. So here I can see all the points given to him, and I can dive down into the other areas. And if I click on class notes, we're able to see, has he done the homework that we've set? So these are the homework set for Jasper. We can see whether he's handed them in or not, and he hasn't handed any in. So we can obviously have a conversation there about that. We can also quickly jump into the attendance side of it, points, and we can have a look at his demerits as well and see what's happening there. So the great tool is with the Parents Evening is you can jump into those areas where you might need to discuss things with them, with parents and with students, and have all that information to hand without having to dive into any other system. It's all from here. It gets the attendance from Sim, so it's all up to date. It knows exactly what you need to know when you need to know it. So the other thing that we're just going to touch on briefly is the overview for the Parents Evening. So if we jump to overview and Parents Evening, we can see down here a real good breakdown of who's attended, what appointments by year group, and I can choose either to view specific Parents Evenings. So if we go to this one, for example, who attended, which staff did what, students did what, parents, then have a look at who's attended with our student indicators as well. So that's really useful. You can see who's attended and who's not attended. If you need help to set that up, then just ask your IT support. They'll be able to set you up Parents Evening. Just let them know who and what you want there, and they'll be able to do the rest for you. The last thing I want to just quickly show you is the weekly bulletins. So it's a little known fact. If you set up an email, Most of yours should have yours in. You can choose to subscribe to any of these for your individual class or your year group, depending on your role. So you could get a weekly information overload of maybe the tutor group leaderboard, and you can say which year group you want that for, maybe a particular house. You can choose all that and have that set up for you. Subscribe to it, and then every week you'll get one of them sent to you. You can quickly cancel the submission on this screen as well. Lastly, if you do need any help at all to get this working, if you click onto downloads and go down to guides and tutorials, and if you go to the staff guide, you'll see that everything that we've spoken about today is on here and set up for you to look at. So if you want to look at homework, step-by-step guide telling you how to use it. Okay, so if you need any further help, that's the best place to go. Or you can drop me an email, matt@lawsit.org.uk, and I'll be able to help you out. Other than that, thank you for attending, and I'll speak to you soon.